On June 25, 2007, police entered the home of WWE superstar Chris Benoit. What they found would send shockwaves through the world of professional wrestling and far beyond. Chris's wife was strangled, his 7-year-old son had been suffocated, and Chris, arguably at the peak of his career, was dead by suicide. But the timeline didn't make sense. There were strange Google searches, deleted texts, and chilling clues that someone or something was spiraling in that house for nearly 3 days. Chris Benoit was a professional wrestling legend, a world champion known for his work ethic, quiet demeanor, and almost obsessive perfectionism. On Friday, June 22, 2007, Chris was scheduled to appear at a WWE event in Texas, but he texted officials that his wife Nancy and son Daniel were sick, food poisoning, he said, and he'd be staying home. The next day, he missed another show. Then, on Sunday, he sent several cryptic text messages to friends and co-workers, giving them his home address, saying his dogs were in the yard and that his garage door was open. That's when WWE staff started to worry. On Monday, June 25th, police arrived at Chris Benoit's home in Fayetteville, Georgia. Inside, they found 3 bodies. Nancy Benoit, 43, was found in the upstairs bedroom. Her feet and wrists were bound. She had been strangled with a cord, with bruising on her back. Daniel Benoit, 7 years old, was found in his bed. He had been suffocated, likely with a pillow. He still had bruises on his arms, as if someone had held him down. Chris Benoit, 40, was found in his home gym. He had used the pulley cable on a weight machine to hang himself. There were Bibles placed next to both Nancy and Daniel, and the timeline was chilling. Nancy had been killed Friday night, Daniel Saturday morning, Chris himself on Sunday evening. He had stayed in the house with both bodies for nearly 2 days. As news broke, an even stranger clue emerged. Someone had edited Chris Benoit's Wikipedia page to say Nancy had died hours before her body was discovered. The edit came from Stamford, Connecticut, home of WWE headquarters, and was timestamped nearly 14 hours before police found the scene. This led to wild theories. Did someone inside WWE know? Was someone trying to cover something up? Or was it just a disturbing coincidence? The editor later claimed it was a lucky guess. Police ultimately dropped the investigation into it, but the seed of doubt had been planted. If you're hooked so far, hit subscribe, because the next story might be even darker than this one. Now, back to the case. Why would a loving father and respected athlete do this? 3 main theories emerged. CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. After his death, Benoit's brain was examined by neuropathologists. What they found was horrifying. His brain showed severe damage, comparable to that of an 85-year-old Alzheimer's patient, likely caused by repeated concussions and years of high-impact trauma. Experts believe this brain damage affected his judgment, mood, and emotional control. 2. Steroid use. Roid rage. Toxicology reports found elevated levels of testosterone and other substances in Chris's system. WWE denied that steroids were to blame, but some experts believe his emotional state could have been worsened by withdrawal, hormonal imbalance, or rage episodes. 3. Mental collapse. Chris's close friend and fellow wrestler Eddie Guerrero had died suddenly in 2005. After that, friends said Benoit was never the same. He isolated, became more paranoid, and fixated on death. It seemed like grief, brain trauma, and years of physical punishment had finally broken him. WWE went into immediate damage control. At first, they aired a tribute show to Benoit, before the full details of the murder-suicide were known. Once the truth came out, they removed all references to Benoit from their website, archives, and programming. To this day, he's never been inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. He's treated like a ghost, erased from history. The case sparked new debates around CTE, athlete mental health, and the ethics of contact sports. The NFL, NHL, and pro wrestling now have more concussion protocols in place because of this one tragedy. Chris Benoit was one of the greatest wrestlers of his generation. But what happened inside that house from Friday night to Sunday evening became one of the darkest weekends in sports history. A father, a husband, a broken mind, and a mystery that still leaves people asking, was this a man who snapped, or a warning sign that no one wanted to see?
Thanks for watching Short Crime Stories. New crimes drop weekly. Subscribe to never miss a case.